Hello everyone, welcome to the off-season live stream for the Denver Broncos going into year number 4. We obviously lost in the playoffs and the Bengals ended up taking a victory. We'll take a look at that really quick. Bengals beat the Giants 24-21 in the Super Bowl, getting their first Super Bowl victory. Cole Stockton, the middle linebacker, won Super Bowl MVP. But there's a lot to go over in this offseason. Got a lot of things that this team needs to fix. A lot of moves I want to make. So first of all, let's talk about what we have in terms of draft picks. It is not very much. We have only one, actually two of our own draft picks. We have a 4th, a 5th, 3 6th, and 2 7th. So we are not looking great in the draft picks category. Shall we begin in the offseason? Of course, this Broncos team is pretty good now, but not good enough. There's a bunch of improvements I want to make. At the moment, we have 2 running backs that we probably don't need both of. Javonte Williams is a true 88 overall, playing up to an 89. And then we have Spears behind him, a year younger, with superstar dev as an 84. We need a true wide receiver too. I think Marvin Mims needs to be traded away. There's Rashad Winters. I saw a bunch of comments saying to move him back to tight end. If you're curious, Rashad Winters is an 82 overall tight end, so he would be a very good tight end for us. And that's part of what makes me want to move him back there, because Chester Truman, obviously wide receiver 1. Winters, I played as wide receiver 2 for the back half of the season, and he was fine, but he definitely wasn't as good as he was as a tight end. I think that the smart play is to move him back to tight end. And we're going to, I think, probably change up the offense to run a lot more 2 tight end sets. But I think that Rashad Winters is strongest at tight end. I think it makes us a more well-rounded offense to have him back there. But I do think that Jay Stewart, being 6'7", probably has a higher ceiling as a tight end than Winters does. So that makes it even more of a need to get a better wide receiver. I'm considering trading away Ben Powers, but I'm not certain. Everyone in the comments was saying that we need to upgrade the offensive line. And for the most part, I agree that the offensive line play has not been very good. I also don't know how much there is to upgrade. The offensive line have star development, except for I think Ben Powers is the only one with normal. If we look at who saves us the most money to cut, it's Ben Powers, actually. But let's go ahead and advance to the re-signing week. There are a few more guys we could consider re-signing, but I think for the most part, I'm happy with what we've done in terms of re-signing players. Chat, do we re-sign Daniel Truman, the little brother of Chester Truman? He's very interested. He's terrible. If we do re-sign him, it's on name value alone. We give him a 1-year prove-it deal. Whatever, we give him a 1-year prove-it deal. He's excited to re-sign. Here's the thing. Khalil Mack is regressing. He's very old at this point. He's definitely not the player he was, and he was not nearly the player I was expecting him to be when we signed him this past offseason. The most that I think Khalil Mack is at the moment is depth with the upside of having the mentor tag. Depending on the money he wants, I'd bring him back for a year, but that's just too much, man. I'm down to have him because I like the mentor tag, but yeah, he's going to test free agency. That's fine. I think we actually might be able to get him for super cheap in free agency, because I low-key think that nobody is going to be offering him anything. Cameron Fleming has been on the team for a couple seasons now as a backup left tackle. He's also starting to regress, at least I would assume. Yeah, no, he regressed. -5 though isn't too bad. He's a true 70 overall. He's okay as a backup, and he's very interested. If he'll take a crappy deal, I'll bring him back. Like, this is literally perfect. Like, this is totally fine. I'm happy to give this. Cameron Fleming can stay on. He's been a depth left tackle for the entire series, so I'm happy to bring him back. So no more re-signings from that round. We'll go ahead and advance to free agency. We have a decent chunk of money. We have 36.7 mil to work with. So you know what, let's make some trades now and then go into free agency. So one trade I want to get your guys' opinion on. There's a couple good ones. In fact, there's a few really good ones for our boy Javonte Williams. I love Javonte Williams. Of our 2 running backs, he is my favorite, but there's some really good offers here. So we could get Darnell Mooney, like a pretty bona fide wide receiver 2, and a bunch of picks. So here's one I was really interested in. Christian Gonzalez, who's an 84 overall with star dev. He's only 24 years old. We can turn that 2028 third into a 2026 third. So there was one earlier as well, and I want to see what you guys think, because I do think that the Bears would accept this offer. They offered me before Jalen Johnson for Javonte. Jalen Johnson, 27 years old, an 86 overall corner, and these are his ratings: 90 speed, 90 man, 87. I mean, just really, really good corner. Would easily be the CB2, and we just probably wouldn't have to worry about it. So they won't take it with a third, because I tried that. I tried getting a third with it, and I don't think they take it. It's like very close. If the Bears will do this trade, I will do this trade. I'm going to submit it. We'll see what they say. Yeah, see, it's like 85, 90% of the way there, but they're not taking it. Here's the Christian Gonzalez trade. So Christian Gonzalez is 6'2", so he's 2 inches taller than Jalen Johnson. He's quite a bit faster. He's much worse in zone coverage and play recognition, is decent in man coverage and decent in press, which is most of what we run. The real concerning thing for me is that his awareness and his play rec is not as good. So he's not as smart of a player, but he's a better athlete with similar man coverage. I do think that this trade is pretty worth it, but I'm gonna see if I can get a third for this season instead of 2 years from now, because we need picks now, not later. This, I think, is probably the best offer on the table from anyone. We give the Patriots, who do need a running back, I will verify that for you guys. They're not good at running back right now. They have Marco Mitchell, 76 overall, and Michael Smart. We get Christian Gonzalez, who is actually about $2 million cheaper than Javonte. We get a fourth next season, another sixth this year, which means we have 4 sixths, by the way, and then a third this year as well. Let's submit the offer. Javonte Williams, is he going to be a Patriot? He is. Christian Gonzalez is the new CB2 for the Denver Broncos. Javonte Williams is a New England Patriot. And we have a 3rd round pick now. All in all, it's a trade that benefits both sides. We also save a little bit of money by doing this. Okay, let's try to trade Marvin. Let's see if the Giants will do a 2nd and a 3rd for Marv. Oh, messy Marv. So we get a 2nd and a 3rd for Marvin Mims. So now we have 2 thirds, a 2nd, a 4th, a 5th, 4 sixths, and 2 sevenths. Oh, I didn't really want to do that, but here we are. Left tackle Ben Powers for a 2nd from the Falcons. I probably could have gotten more. So that frees up a bunch of money, and it gets us a 2nd round pick. So it's not bad, actually. Okay, before we do anything else, I just want to see who's available in free agency really quick. Ronnie Stanley is super interested as an 89 overall tackle. He's the #1 guy. What? Jalen Phillips is here, and he's pretty interested as an edge rusher. We have Cameron Fleming, who can start if needed, but I want to now go after Ronnie Stanley now that we've freed up a little bit more money. He's super interested because we're a playoff contender. We're historic champs. Yeah, I think a 1-year deal is like the most I want to do. Yeah, you saw Jamison Williams. He's just not interested at all. He is super fast and he's 6'2", and obviously he's killing it in the Tyler Gibson series. He just has no interest, and I think he's going to be too expensive. So keep in mind, we don't have a 1st round pick, but there might be guys in the 2nd round. What about DeMarcus Stockton? Great speed, marginal acceleration. He ran a 4.42, which was 8th. Wow. Wait, this guy looks really good. DeMarcus Stockton out of Oklahoma. I like him a lot. Holy cow. You guys see these skills? Goodness gracious. He's good at everything. That could be the guy in the 2nd round if we're looking to get our wide receiver too. Also, for those of you that weren't here before, look at this guy, Cole Langford, 6'9" receiver out of Oklahoma, 6'9". Ooh, I forgot. In this year's Madden, you can restructure contracts. That might be a play, actually. Crazy thing is we aren't even paying some of our best players right now. Like, I don't think Drew Sanders is on his big contract. Chester's not on his big contract yet. We just traded for Christian. So Zach Allen is costing us a ton of money. Restructuring the contract for Zach Allen will free $5.7 million in cap space this season, $1.69 million. I think I'm going to restructure Zach Allen's. Josh, I like where your head's at with trading Zach Allen, and I thought about it, but I'll show you something as to why we can't. Because I agree. I would actually be willing to trade Zach Allen, but if we do, we take a $42.8 million penalty and negative $30.9 million in savings. So it actually hurts our cap room to trade him away. What happens if we restructure PS2's contract? This is just screwing me for later is the issue. Only $960K will be added in the final 5 years. I feel like that's not bad. Actually, we do just straight up save money by getting rid of Stevenson. And we have Damari Mathis, who I think has been playing better than him. And we have Quincy Walls. Yeah, we do not need Tyreek Stevenson. Yeah, let's try to trade Reek Stevenson. 3/6 this year, and Tyreek Stevenson to the Colts for another second and a third. So there you go. So that frees up even a tiny bit more room. And now I think officially we start probably signing people. I think we go after Ronnie Stanley. I do. I think we do. I think we have to. I think our offensive line play on the right side of the line is absolutely horrendous. Oh, he's a left tackle, actually. So that should be his favorite offer. It is. We still have a little bit of money left over to go after somebody else. Bra Moment in the Twitch chat really wants Jameson Williams. I just don't think it makes sense. He's not unreasonably expensive. He does not have good spec catch, though. And I want like a big-bodied go up and catch it type of guy. Ew, Chase Claypool. So I really think that instead of getting a wide receiver free agent, we look to get DeMarcus Stockton. He's around 1 to 2 projection. It's a matter of if he falls to us, but he's 6'3", has really good physicals, and has B spec catch, A catch in traffic, A catching. Like, I think this is the guy. He looks like he might be the best receiver in the class based on a few of these things. Yeah, I just have to make sure we get him, right? That's the issue. He's around 1 to 2. We might need to trade up to get either a higher second or a very late first. So for 2 of our seconds and a third, we get a late first round pick to go after that wide receiver, to be our wide receiver 2. I think that this is a good trade, and I think we're going to end up with our true wide receiver 2 of the future. Now we can hopefully actually get through free agency. I think we're in a much better position than we were, especially if we can snag a guy like Ronnie Stanley. I don't think it's a terrible idea to get a DeMarcus Lawrence. He has the mentor tag. He's relatively interested in signing. Yeah, I'll just super lowball DeMarcus Lawrence. We could probably do that with a couple of these really old dudes. Let's make this offer. It's absolutely horrendous. It's literally the only offer for DeMarcus Lawrence. I don't hate the prospect of getting the Honey Badger. I'm game, actually. I'm going to lowball the crap out of him as well. And if he comes to the team, he can. If not, we've got Dante Wake to start. So it's all good. It's an absolutely horrible offer. And I think maybe with the leftover money, we could find a decent backup quarterback. And I low-key am very interested in Trey Lance, but he has 2 offers. Maybe Geno? Just like a backup quarterback that is not going to be complete garbage when he comes in the game. Was Jameis Winston there? Did I miss him? Oh, he is. He's a 69 overall. Average sense of pressure, 89, 79, 77, 85. Yeah, I mean, Jameis or Geno would both be an upgrade from Michael Stockton. Jameis has a bigger arm, which is useful as a backup on our team because we are full of absolute speed demon deep threats. Yeah, let's get Jameis Winston. He can be the backup for the upcoming season, and he's quite a bit cheaper, and I don't think he has any offers, so I can just give him like nothing. Jameis for the Sean Payton connection. I mean, yeah, it does kind of make sense, actually. Okay, we have one more spot we could offer. I was just thinking about the fact that we no longer really have a true power back, having traded Javonte away. Is there somebody we can get for super cheap? Like, they're not going to play very much. Tajay Spears is taking at least 80% of snaps next season, but AJ Dillon, power back, could get us goal line snaps maybe. We can get him for super cheap because he has no offers. Yeah, let's bring in AJ Dillon. Absolutely horrendous offer for him. So now we will evaluate those offers, and let's see if we got anyone. So we did get AJ Dillon. He signed immediately. And Ronnie Stanley signed as well. So that is our big free agent signing. So we got our left tackle. We got our backup running back. Jalen Phillips is a Raider. No, bro. No. We have to play him twice a year. Matthew now has a better offer from the Jets. So we might go after Eddie Jackson instead of the Honey Badger. I don't want to offer a lot more money. So I think I'll probably just go after Jackson. But we're withdrawing from Matthew. We're going after Eddie instead. And he'll probably accept because he's no other offers. So let's advance again. None of these guys have signed yet still. Advance again. We missed on DeMarcus Lawrence. Not the end of the world. We do have Nick Bonito, who was going to start anyway. But now do we go back and offer a different edge rusher? Leonard Williams, maybe? Does he have mentor tag? He does. I'll offer a really tiny contract to Big Lenny here. It would be nice to get somebody in the edge rushing category with mentor tag for these younger dudes. So we've got an offer on Eddie, Leonard, and Jameis. None of them have taken it yet. So we will go next. One of them's gone, and it's because he signed. It's Eddie Jackson. He is a Denver Bronco for the upcoming season. He'll be moved to strong safety, I think. We got Jameis Winston, baby. The biggest free agent signing of the offseason. Jameis Winston is the backup quarterback for the Denver Broncos for the upcoming season. Finally, he signs because he's just like, well, I'm not getting an offer from anyone else. So Leonard Williams is a Denver Bronco. Probably won't start, but will play rotationally and has the mentor tag to help Gallup, Nick Bonito, and Baron Browning. So a lot of vets, a lot of old dudes for our free agency, which is fine. Just kind of makes the roster a little bit more complete. All right, chat. Now let's take a look at scouting. The only guy we're absolutely in love with at the moment is DeMarcus Stockton. I think he's for sure our first pick, but then we have a second and I think 2 more thirds after that. So we need to find guys we like. And then I need to consider where we're taking Cole Langford. He's around 3 or 4 guy. Do we get him at 3 or do we do have 2 thirds? So I could get him with my later third. So I think maybe we plan to get Langford with that. I just think with being 6'9", even if he's not great, he's going to be good. We look at Al Reeves, great strength, great acceleration, solid speed. So he's not fast. A, power moves, B, play rec, B, block shedding. I like Al Reeves a lot, actually. He looks really good. Byron Bullock, great strength, good speed, elite acceleration. A, power moves, C, block shedding, B, play rec, D, finesse moves. He looks good too, though. Not as good as Al Reeves. I like Al Reeves a lot. Greg Stewart, A, block shedding, B, power moves, A, tackle. Josh Kiernan looks decent, depending on what that block shedding is. I don't hate him. All right, on to the outside linebackers. We're looking for specifically the edge rushers, but we would also take a replacement for Avery Baptiste potentially. Here's a pass coverage guy, which I'm a fan of. I like pass coverage guys. Looks to be a really pretty good athlete and has really good coverage. Brian Johnson out of Clemson. Dalvin Bennett is a speed rusher, 6'3", is fast. A to C block shedding, B finesse moves. Day 3, huh? This guy's a day 3 guy. I like Dalvin Bennett quite a bit. Elite speed from Cameron Peterson. I like Cameron Peterson. He's a 2nd or 3rd round guy, and we have a couple seconds, so we might be able to snag him. Matthew Howard has great speed. He's the 2nd fastest middle linebacker. Also looks very good. Ross McLean, elite acceleration. A, block shedding. Power rusher with A, block shedding. Ricky Tracy, B, block shedding, B, finesse moves. Okay, Ricky. So I like Ricky Tracy. Romeo Sims, elite speed. A man, A zone. This guy is incredible in coverage. Wait a minute. Romeo Sims looks like he might be a really good outside linebacker. Also, I have realized that I didn't sign a middle linebacker, did I? Just draft one. I think it's safer to have one from a free agency and then draft one. Like I could still draft one and get one of these guys, you know? 3 years, yeah, right. You're getting a prove it deal, my guy. So anyone in the top 100 that still doesn't have offers that would just make our team better. Eric Armstead is still here and still has no offers. Would easily be our DT2. Screw it, man. Why not? Not a lot of money left in the pot here. All right, we'll go after those 2. So we do get Eric Armstead. Okay, so the defensive line is looking pretty nice. And we do get the middle linebacker Malik Harrison as well. So free agency went like really well for us, I think. I think it went as well as it could considering our financial situation. We'll take a look at the recap and see who went where. Yeah, free agency was really bad. So I think that we made the best of a bad situation. But here's the top 100 guys. We got the top guy in Ronnie Stanley. The Raiders unfortunately got Jalen Phillips, so we'll have to deal with him twice a year. Tyler Lockett is a Falcon. Matthew is a Jet. Montez Sweat is a Seahawk. J-Mo is a Saint. Grady Jarrett is a Colt. DJ Reader is a Ram. Teron Johnson is a Patriot. Ryan Stonehouse, these are punters. Kenny Moore is a Saint. Jake Elliott is a kicker. Eddie Jackson, we got. DeMarcus Lawrence went to the Steelers. Deion Dawkins went to the Titans. Alex Kappa is a Charger. Grover Stewart is a Viking. Adabuike is a Falcon. Emerson is a Falcon. Hilton is a Cardinal. Algier is a Bear. Trent Brown is a Jet. TJ Edwards is a Panther. Quez Watkins is a Viking. Kirby Joseph is a Lion. Dante Jackson is a Ram. Humphreys is a Falcon. Holcomb is a Jet. Gillikin is still a free agent. Armstead is ours. Omenahu is a Cardinal. Elliott is a Viking. Elijah Mitchell is a Jet. Here's the 5th mock draft. This is generally very accurate to how the draft will actually go. Wow, are the Cardinals finally going to move on from Kyler Murray? They plan to draft Dalton Greenfield. So this is about what we would expect the draft to come out to. So none of these guys, we didn't even really look at them. I am a big fan of Al Reeves, but I figured he'd go very early, but he looked really good. Has us taking Cameron Peterson, 28th overall. Rasheem Franks falls all the way to the Giants at 31, who after making the Super Bowl are moving on from Daniel Jones. That is so funny. Here we go. It is time for, what is this, the 2026 NFL draft. As always, I'm going to pause it. I did not realize the Raiders were picking first, and we will go one pick at a time for a little while. But here we go. The Raiders get to pick first overall, and they will take Jeffrey Foster, a left tackle out of Virginia Tech. That's a guy we're going to see an awful lot. It was rumored that the Cardinals are finally moving on from Kyler Murray, drafting his replacement, and they do. Dalton Greenfield out of Oregon State, the #1 quarterback in this class, goes to the Cardinals. Saints are up next. They take Steve Hale, a right tackle out of Clemson. Buccaneers take Dylan Fox. That's the next QB off the board, so the Buccaneers may have found their guy of the future. Next pick is Logan Springs for the Commanders. They have moved on from Sam Howell and have now gotten Logan Springs. QB's flying off the board. There goes Corliss Ross, who did look pretty good. Left outside linebacker out of Oregon State goes to the Browns. The Vikings on the clock take Stephen Ward, a left tackle out of Michigan State. Sean Mincy, a right tackle out of Iowa, goes to the Lions. The Rams get Markel Collins, a right outside linebacker out of Notre Dame. Julian Myers, a right tackle out of Florida State. Derek Scott, the first wide receiver off the board, goes to the Texans. Dolphins take Peter Carr, a right tackle out of Vanderbilt. Lots of tackles in this class. Al Reeves, the right end that looked really good out of Tennessee, goes to New England. 49ers take Joe Singh, wide receiver out of San Diego State. Jets are on the clock. They take Brett Campbell, right end, USC. Josh Hoover, the best corner in the class by quite a bit, goes to the Titans. The Chargers, a division rival, take Nigel Reddick, right end, Penn State. That's a guy we're going to have to deal with. Panthers get Braylon Barrow, left end out of Vanderbilt. Ben Roberts, strong safety, Auburn, goes to the Bills. They did just lose Taylor Rapp. That makes sense. Kerry Lowry, DT, Penn State, to the Steelers. Packers go next. They take Marcus Tarpley, wide receiver, Ohio State. Let's take a look at our draft board. I just want to see where our boy is in terms of wide receivers. So it goes Carlos Sweat and then him. Makes me a little nervous, but I think he's going to fall to us. I think that DeMarcus Stockton is going to fall to us. I don't think we need to trade up. Marco Coles, left end out of California, to the Ravens. Cowboys get Noah Wynn, left tackle, San Diego State. The Bears, their first of 2 first-round picks, take Kalen Blaylock, left tackle out of Virginia. The Seahawks take Patrick Spencer, halfback, Missouri. The Bears take Carlos Sweat. There's no shot the Colts take a receiver here, right? Because the next receiver on the board is DeMarcus Stockton. That's our guy. The Colts have a good receiver core. They don't need a receiver here. I'm not going to trade up. I don't think they're going to take DeMarcus Stockton here. I really don't. Jalen Butler, DT, Texas Tech, is our turn. And with the 28th pick, we are going to be taking DeMarcus Stockton. He's going to be the wide receiver 2 of the future for this team. Hopefully, I mean, fingers crossed. He looks really good. He better have at least star dev. If I don't see hidden dev, I'm going to cry. Hidden dev. There we go. DeMarcus Stockton, new wide receiver 2 for the Denver Broncos. 93 speed at 6'3" is very solid. Also has 94 jumping. I think he's going to be really, really good. But we got our guy, chat. We got DeMarcus Stockton. We're looking good for the future of this offense. Up next is the Eagles. They take Emmanuel Brothers. And then the Chiefs. They take Deshaun Flynn, a guy we're going to have to see a lot. The Giants do get quarterback Rasheem Franks out of Utah. The Bengals end up with Blair Rutherford, and we are on to the second round. Now at this point, I think we can start advancing to user picks. There's nobody that is like super intriguing that we're on the lookout for at this point. Our next pick is round 2, pick 31, and let's see who is available. There's a couple guys I have my eye on. I think that I am so confident that Sims is going to be good that I feel like I just have to take him. I don't want to take the risk in him getting picked early in the 3rd where I'm just not going to get him at all. So I'm going to bite the bullet. I'm going to take Romeo Sims here. I think he's going to be really good. He has normal dev. Oh, that hurts so bad. 88 speed, 88 excel, 86 agility. He is A-man, A-zone coverage. That stings. I really thought I had something here with, like, he looks so solid. Like, yeah, he's not a pass rusher, but that's not what I want him to be. Definitely a reach there. It is what it is. The same thing happened with Dante Wake last season, and he became like just a really good role player on the team. So I think now is when we take that 6'9" wide receiver, if he's still here. Cole Langford. God, first 3 picks, 2 of them are receivers. I think though that when a potential god is like staring you in the face, you gotta take it. So even though Langford might not be great, I think the fact that he is 6'9" makes him worth drafting. And he has hidden dev. Cole Langford, 6'9" wide receiver out of Oklahoma. Welcome to the team. That's crazy. 6'9", he has hidden dev. Levi Stovall is off the board, which actually means that we can still get Ricky Tracy if we want to. Yeah, I think the pick here is obvious. I think it's a pass rusher I like. His name's Ricky Tracy, and he seems solid. He's normal dev. A little bit of a miss, but is probably going to be a decent player. I don't think he's going to be bad. So now the draft is in like a weird stage. There's nothing we are in like desperate need of. Dalvin Bennett could be a decent pass rusher. Just don't know enough about him. Don't know what that block shedding is. I think I'm going to trade this pick away. I don't think there's anyone I want here in the 4th. Let's do this Vikings trade. So our next pick is now in the 5th, Larry Mincy, right outside linebacker, great speed, D block shedding. Wait, why does it look like he's good in coverage? I thought he was no, he is a pass coverage archetype. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm going to take Mincy here. Draft player, hidden dev. Good find. Hidden dev, Larry Mincy. Welcome to the team. Dalvin Bennett, another pass rusher type who I have hearted. Great speed. A to C block shedding with B finesse moves this late in the draft. Yeah, absolutely. I think we take that. At this point, normal dev, we're not that concerned. They're like almost all of them are going to have normal dev for the most part. Yeah, there's Brian Pearson. He doesn't look bad in terms of his skills. That's for sure. B carrying, B stiff arm, B trucking, B spin move. Definitely not a terrible player. Normal dev, Brian Pearson out of Auburn. Oh, and I believe this is our final pick here in the 7th. Zach Flanagan, hybrid safety, relatively good athlete, C awareness, C man, C pursuit, C hit power, C block shedding. This is the most like average dude on the planet. Just C at everything. Not terrible though. So I am actually going to take Zach Flanagan here. And yeah, actually doesn't seem like a terrible athlete. And that does it for our draft. Oh wait, it doesn't do it for our draft. I forgot we had a second 7th that we traded for. I think we already have enough halfbacks for like the position battle because we've got Spears, obvious starter. And then we've got Dylan, McLaughlin, Roshan Johnson, and the guy we drafted earlier to battle for spot number 2. This guy actually doesn't look that bad though. Like look at all these A to C's. He's good at like good to decent at a lot of stuff. So let's do it. Tyrone Brazil. He has hidden dev. What an absolute steal. Hidden dev as our last pick in the draft. That is a steal and a half. I don't even care if he's terrible. And the draft is over. Let's take a look at the recap. All right, draft recap. Here's who we got. We got DeMarcus Stockton, who is a 76 overall wide receiver. That is so sick. Granted, not great for a wide receiver 2, but he has hidden dev and he's only 21 and he has 93 speed at 6'3". I think this guy is going to be so good. Romeo Sims is a 71 overall, by the way. Langford is a 71, which is quite good. And then everything else is kind of not great. Ricky Tracy sucks. Larry Mincy sucks currently, but if I recall, this is the guy who was hidden dev. Dalvin Bennett sucks. Brian Pearson's not bad. He's a 69 overall out the gate. Zach Flanagan's a 66. These are all practice squad guys, really. Tyrone Brazil is hidden dev, but is only a 64. So really not our best draft, I'll be honest with you. But it seems like that draft class in general was just not great. Let's take a look at all of the NFL and let's take a look at round 1 specifically. So the first overall pick is a 73. Dalton Greenfield is a 78 overall quarterback for the Arizona Cardinals. Steve Hale is a 74. Dylan Fox is a 75. Logan Springs. So everyone's hitting so far. Here's the first wide receiver. So he's a 74. We actually got a 76 in Stockton, so immediately better. Peter Carr. Here's Singh. He's a 74. Can I look at whether he is hidden dev as well, playing up to a 75. He looks to be pretty good. He's just not good at route running. But I think that our guy, DeMarcus Stockton, is just way better. But yeah, here's the first round. Josh Hoover was a 76. Was there anyone in this class at all that was an 80? No, this was a weak draft class. I think this is the first class we've had that didn't have an 80. So 78 was the best player in the draft. So we will advance past the draft. And at that point, we're pretty much on to season number 4. So this is one of the more fun parts, is where we get to start looking for UDFAs now. So let's just take a look at the roster before we try to pick up any undrafted guys. Currently, we've got 4 quarterbacks on the roster. I'm going to tell you right now, Stetson Bennett is not making the team. It's going to be a battle between Michael Stockton and Jameis Winston to see who the backup is, but it's most likely going to be Jameis. Although they have very similar accuracies, Jameis is just better throwing short. We have a billion halfbacks on the roster. We have Spears set to be the workhorse back going forward. We have AJ Dillon to be the change of pace power back. I honestly might cut Jaleel. He just doesn't really fit the scheme of the team at this point. I'm going to let Roshan battle with AJ Dillon for that sort of second running back spot in the preseason, but obviously the main guy is Mr. Spears. There's also Brian Pearson, who is a power back. He could also theoretically earn that spot. Quintarius Portis is a UDFA from last season, probably not going to make the team. And then I got to figure out what we're doing with Tyrone Brazil, because he has at least star development. He's just the worst running back on the team by a decent margin. Our fullback is still the same. It's Brandon Gresham. He better still have star dev. He does. Wide receiver 1 is Chester Truman. And then it's going to be DeMarcus Stockton. And then honestly, it's probably going to be Cole Langford. We got worse at receiver. The receiver draft class was good, but the receiver free agency was not. And then I know you guys love Daniel Truman, but he might have to go. 1 season and he's still a 65. My guy is awful. Tight end. Okay, we do need a 3rd string tight end. I thought we had that Riley Davis guy, but it's going to be Rashad Winters and Jay Stewart, and we'll try to find a way to use both of them consistently. Left tackle is Ronnie Stanley, Cameron Fleming backing him up. We need a backup left guard for Zion Johnson. We need a backup center for Blaine Wynn. We need a backup right guard for Quinn Miners, and we need a backup right tackle for Mike McGlinchey. Left end is going to be Baron Browning, of course. Right end is probably going to be Nick Benito. Maybe I'll have these two fight it out for who's the actual starter. They're quite different in how they play. It looks like Leonard Williams is going to be quite a bit better because of the 83 block shedding, where Benito only has 70. D tackle is Zach Allen. Eric Armstead will be the number 2, and then JD Robertson will probably get a chance to fight Armstead for DT number 2. Left outside linebacker is still Devin Bush. Middle linebacker is Drew Sanders with Malik Harrison and Will Ware from last season, whose number I'm going to change because 39 is so ugly. Right outside linebacker is still Avery Baptiste. Romeo Sims could battle him for this position, but I really think it's Baptiste's position to lose, especially considering Sims does not have hidden or star dev and Baptiste does have star dev. CB1 is PS2, CB2 is Christian Gonzalez. I think I'm going to let the CB3 be a matchup between Damari Mathis and Quincy Walls for who gets to be CB3. Also, Derek Covington is still on the roster, quietly has become a 71 overall. Justin Reed obviously is the free safety. Eddie Jackson we're going to move to strong safety, and he's going to start over Cameron Bynum. Dante Wake is a play everywhere type of guy. What we could consider is moving Dante Wake to right outside linebacker, but JL Skinner always plays so well when he's on the field. Like, he finished with 5 TFLs, even though he only had 20 tackles on the whole season. Like, that's pretty crazy percentage wise. Okay, but really quick, we need to go get a left guard, a center, a right guard, and a right tackle, and and a 3rd tight end. So basically the whole offensive line and then a 3rd tight end. That's what we need to sign. I'm gonna try to get Sean Ryan. Sean Ryan, welcome to the team. Let's go for Billy Price because you're relatively inexpensive. Tracy Lockridge is a UDFA. He's a 68 overall right guard. I mean, happily, I will sign that. And here's another rookie, 22, 68 overall, Skylar Jackson out of Nevada will be the backup right tackle. Then we need to find a tight end. My preference would be to get a super young UDFA dude, but if they all suck, then I probably won't. There's Riley Davis again. I think I'm just going to bring Riley Davis back. And with that, the offseason is officially over. It took a very long time. We had a lot to work through. I do think that the team is improved, but not by a lot. I would probably anticipate us going around 10-6, 10-7-ish again. Improved for sure. The defense, I think, particularly is better. This is a kind of tough schedule. Bills are a good team. Cardinals are kind of bad. Ravens are very good. Here's the Javonte Williams revenge game, which is fun. I like that that's here. Chiefs are obviously incredible. Seahawks are good. Dolphins are good. Niners are good. Panthers are, I think they're good in this. Titans, I am not sure. Chiefs are obviously good. Chargers are good. Jets are decent. Raiders kind of suck. Chargers are good. The Rams, I think, are bad, and the Raiders are not good. So, I don't know. Kind of a tough schedule. Anyway, chat, I think that's going to do it for me. But yeah, I appreciate you guys hanging out. It was a great stream. It was really fun. So, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate you. I appreciate all the support. I will see you when I see you. Be on the lookout. Have a good rest of your day.